Shalom, this is Sophia, the Ameru Khan Mariam, and I shared a video in my community post of a brother, and I just had a thought about the title or something that he said in the video, which was talking about how the chaos magic needs to stop. And I thought, who benefits from chaos magic? And immediately, before the words were even out of my mouth, it was like, well, the Levitical priesthood benefits from chaos magic because they use the magic of the mother against the father. So by fasting for the restoration of the celestial kingdom, it will restore the natural magic, the natural things that we can do naturally. Because a sister did ask, well, how do we get our restoration? How do we get restored back to us? And I think that restoring the natural order will return our natural magic to us, but we'll also add that in there, the things that we can do naturally. As I'm doing people's charts, I'm literally seeing like what kind of, things people personally have control over. And so I'm also realizing that this spiral didn't come from out of nowhere. It may be quote unquote secret information, but it's not, it may be private information, but it's not a secret, because you can see how people have been capitalizing off the energies as they come in, and maybe they didn't have them associated with the pictures, but I highly doubt that, because most people will understand pictures before they understand language. And so of course they would have had these pictures associated with the energies that come in and when they come in and so on and so forth. So another reason why I wanted to make this video, so I thought that was very important to think about. Like, the people who benefit from celestial chaos are the same people who are using that chaos in their magic. Okay, that was one piece. The second part is, I have to point out to people that on my channel, I'll speak for myself. If you feel like I have misled you in some information that I've presented, or I've been anything less than authentic, you are required to call judgment on me. I am not here to be perfect. However, if I go into some egregious misuse of the power that I have, then you have to call judgment on me. You have to call me out. 1, 2, you have to call judgment. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And maybe there are people who have been brought to my channel to see that I've been doing some kind of something that deserves judgment to be called, and you are required to call judgment on me. That goes for every person on a public platform. If they are deliberately creating chaos for you, then you are required to call judgment for them. And so I know for a fact that I was brought over here into this community so that I could call judgment, because I would be the only one who would actually go through with all that was required to call judgment, because I have a pure heart. I'm not operating out of a place of anything but love. However, I don't take no shit. And so when I see things that are being done that are not good, I call them out. I contemplate them, and I call them out in a manner that's appropriate for my position as an oracle. Of course, I can't be as aggressive as the brother. That is for men to do. I have nothing. If it was another woman I had to call out, I would call her out all up and down, right, left, sideways. It would be no problem. But it's not my position to call out a man. Another man has to do that. And so I encourage any brothers who do watch me to indeed stand up and call out these people who are trying to usurp our awakening and usurp our power and put us back into chaos magic. And I can tell you for a fact that we're not going into chaos magic. Number one, we already canceled all of their magic. So none of their magic is actually working, which is why this has been able to progress to this point. And it's no coincidence that I made a video this morning about how I was cutting all the ties from all the people, because I didn't even know how these people were siphoning my energy. So it's no coincidence that I did that this morning, and now you're starting to see the effects of what, you know, we fasted for in October, which is the 2/3 gotta go. That's all the 2/3, not just the ones we like, the ones we don't like. Everybody who is not operating in divine love and light has got to go. Especially those who are operating in nothing but pure chaos. They have to go too. So I'll tell you this story on just myself, right? How I realized, one of the ways I realized that something that I ignored, something small, something big that I ignored, that I should have realized that chaos magic was being done on myself. I did an experiment called the boiling pot. And when I did that experiment, after I had done my 7 days, the very next day, a car was stolen out of the garage at my house. It was not my car, but it was a car that looked exactly like a car I used to own. That is how chaos magic works. It is using the mother's elements, which are physical things, against the father's elements. So the angels had come in and cleared my car so it would be invisible. And then you had the mother's elements come in and take the other car, you know. And I simply told the angels to bring that car back, and they did indeed bring it back. It was later that night. The car was found, the stuff in it was gone, but the car was found basically intact. And so I called that car back. Nobody did that but me. And so at that time, I should have realized that there was something, you know, funny going on and that I should be careful. And of course I didn't. And so the Most High had to lead me around in this whole big circle, and all this stuff had to go on. And I don't regret any of it. I look at it as a learning experience. And I also look at it like, if I had not been called over here into this energy, there was no one who would be strong enough to call down the punishment. Due to my placements, my specific placements, I have the capability of calling down the type of judgment necessary in this situation. And so it had to be me. And so those people who invested in me on 7/7, you guys are getting 100% return on your investment right now. Because if we are able to restore the celestial kingdom, we will move forward and we'll have our millennia of peace, not 1,000 years, forever. If the mother and the father are reunited, and this chaos magic is put to rest once and for all, we will have our millennia of peace. We are at the end of the story, and the story is going to end exactly the way that I'm telling you, because we are going to make sure that it does. We're going to be the generation that this stops. This just stops, and people are going to have to get over it. And I feel, you know, everyone has the opportunity to repent. Doesn't mean you won't be sentenced, but you know, you could save your soul. So I really hope that people consider that. Don't feel bad. You know, if things have happened and you don't understand why, but definitely do some cord cutting. You know, consider doing a fast that suits your needs. You can join us in, you know, fasting for the restoration of the celestial kingdom. But most importantly, trust your instinct and trust your guides, because they're there for you. Shalom, everyone.